All right, the Miami Hurricanes are officially in the house. We have head coach Mario Cristobal here with us. I know how much this program and this place means to you, and to have the national championship in this city. What's it been like to see the fans buzzing the way they have this week?
Well, obviously, we're very humbled by the support of our community, our fans, the Miami Hurricane family, and they've been that way the entire season. And certainly, for us, the focus is entirely on the task at hand and our 1-0 process, but for our players to experience this type of buzz and support is awesome.
I know that has been the mentality. You just got to go 1-0, one more week. How built for the moment and that opportunity is this group of guys?
Well, this group first got together last January, and that process is relentless. It's something that you've got to pour your entire existence into, and they've done that. And it's important to stay focused on that, not allowing any of the outside noise and distractions to become part of that. They've done a great job of that, been resilient, been tough, and they're certainly looking forward to getting back to practice today.
Thanks for this. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Go Kings.
Hey, Coach. Brian London from the Real Ones Canes podcast. They call their defense the illusion defense because what you see before snap may be different from after the ball is snapped. How do you prepare for that? What are the keys for Carson and everybody else identifying things when things are like that?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. In my opinion, with this defense, the reason they're successful is because they make you play quarterback after the snap, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, especially with the way offensive football in general is today, with a lot of RPOs, which we're not a huge RPO offense, but a lot of times quarterbacks are strictly coached and they have this thing in mind before the snap. But with them, you better be able to play quarterback after the snap. And so I do think that we're programmed the right way because our offense is a very reactive offense as far as our pass game goes. We don't really get obsessed with pre-snap looks. Now we take in the data, but ultimately we're a progression offense. Nothing is predetermined in our offense, which I think is a reason why I feel good about having some success. Now, obviously, not too many people have, but we are a post-snap organization. Our quarterback is programmed to see coverages and see space. Now, their coverages are honestly pretty damn elite, and they do a really good job of subtly changing coverages. It looks very similar to other things they do. They occupy space extremely well, and they play eyes on the quarterback coverage, which years ago that's how defenses played. Now a lot of defenses have gone away from that with all the man coverage and pre-match stuff people are doing now. So they're almost, in a way, if I can phrase this properly, they're kind of preparing for an option offense.
Right.
You don't see it a lot, so when you do see it, it's a little different, right? So just the way they play coverage is a little different than everybody else's zone coverage. Which is I think those guys do a really good job.
Thank you. Coach, they talk about having vertical alignment at institutions between the president, the athletic director, the head coach, everyone. And it seems like where the University of Miami is now is as great as it's always been from that aspect. Talk about how important that is and how great the University of Miami is doing in that aspect.
Yeah, that's everything. I would recommend that anybody looking for a head coaching job never take it unless those things are in place. I have gone through something like that. And in a sense, it's good. The best training ground I ever had was to have, be part of a process where things weren't aligned. And you learn a lot, and sometimes there's casualties that come with that, from an employment standpoint, but you learn a ton. And coming to Miami, that had to be in place because I believe that Miami in the 80s was so good, I think people fell asleep at the wheel. It's we don't need new facilities. We don't need a budget. We don't need to increase staff. We're just going to win. And you blink an eye and 20 years go by and it's where's Miami, right? And so what you have elite leadership with Joe Echeverria, right? And you have Rudy Fernandez, elite leadership, right? And you have guys like Manny Cadre, elite leadership. These guys are strong-minded, hungry, driven people that understand the importance of everything and how it's supposed to work. You have community leaders like Jose Mas, right? I mean, the involvement of awesome people with the level of passion that they have, the way they work, the impact they've already had on the community, and what they're willing to do for the University of Miami. That's what we want to be aligned with. That's what I want to be aligned with. So every day I'm extremely grateful for the fact that we're in lockstep and looking forward to continue to progress.
Mario was just talking about how, I asked him about the vertical alignment you need between president and athletic director and coach, and he said it's great here. And he said Miami somewhere back in the past, probably after you left, what have you, lost its way a little bit, and now has kind of found that footing where obviously it's allowed to be here, and what you're doing on campus with the facilities and NIL and all that stuff. Just talk about getting that little engine that could into a big locomotive now that's kind of along the right path.
Well, again, he said it, and it's important. He keep using. I got to find another word for alignment. It's really getting overused.
Yeah, it is.
But I think cooperation and synergy might be a better word.
Sure.
Because we have a board, we have a president, AD, football coach, or basketball coach with Jay Lucas, or Trish Cullup, or JD, our baseball coach. We all want the same things for those programs, and we try to work real hard to give them the resources, whether it's the athletic department, and we're supplemented by the university. They help us. Every private school is going to get some level of subsidy from their institution. And our institution sees the value of the U. And I think our president has said that a lot. When the university the U was first athletics. It then kind of got brought into the university, and the whole university, our academic health systems, all the rest of that, have taken that moniker. So when you see the big hospital downtown, it has a big U on it. Now, 50 years ago, had they bought that hospital, it would have had a nice script, Miami on the side, those kind of things. But because of how recognizable athletics has made that symbol, it's used by everybody associated with the institution.
I was a sideline reporter on our broadcast with Joe and Don before Josh was for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So when I was the sideline reporter when we got into the ACC, and I remember we pulled into every ACC city, like Clemson, and there was just additions going up everywhere, right? Like we'd see buildings being put up and stadiums being expanded, and we were like, what are we doing in Coral Gables? And now you see it, right? Like I see footage every day of the expansion going on with Green Tree and the indoor practice facility, all of that, and I feel like it's refreshing, I guess, as someone has been around.
What Coach Rick did and the Sofa family by building the indoor was so important at the time. They didn't take it the other 30 yards, so to make it at 400 yards. Right. So that was something that was important to Mario because of how he practices and things. So now we'll have a 100-yard indoor, a 100-yard outdoor, a 60-yard outdoor, and a brand new weight room for the football team. So I think it's worked out well, but we can't stop there.
Right.
And at Miami, you can't do the things that Clemson does, or maybe North Carolina with room. We're very landlocked. Right. So if we're going to do anything, we're going to have to go vertical.
So keeping up with the arms race, so to speak. Sorry. How important is that still to keep up with the arms race, to see what everyone else is doing and keep going?
I think NIL's kind of maybe put that a little bit behind, not as urgent. But I think as we look at remedies for how we're working NIL now, whether it's collective bargaining or however it gets help maybe through Congress, I think it'll shift back to, okay, now I know what I can get here, and I know the institution and the education's good. How's my day-to-day living environment? How's my day-to-day training environment? So we have to make sure we continue to move forward there.
Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate you.